I am in China this week. I am studying all things electric, the electric cars, the scooters, the buses, the trucks, and all of it, and how all of this change is possible, what it's actually like on the ground, and what it means for the future of humanity. Well, okay, just for maybe the future of the roads and the ambiance outside in public, which is why I've got my buddy Mark here from the TSLA Life. He's joining me, as he so often does. His studio is coming along nicely. It looks good. As you can see, I brought my camera to China so I would look less terrible. That's a good compromise. So with that said, let's get into it. I'm Brian. Welcome to Future Oza. When you make a joke about your mic being muted.
Oh my gosh. It's not April Fool's anymore. It's over.
No, but I didn't do anything special for you. We did jokes together, but not on each other. I figured this was a good opportunity.
Oh my goodness.
What, if you were coming to Shanghai, what sort of things would you expect to see?
I've never been there. I've never been to China at all. But I would expect to see a lot of congestion on the streets of a major city like Shanghai. I would expect it to be a major metropolis, and that transportation, from the images I've seen on television, it would be gridlock in a lot of places is what I would be imagining. Would that be correct, Brian?
So that was definitely the case 20, 25 years ago, but China has been aggressively rebuilding everything to mitigate out as much of that as they can. So the roads are better, but the alternatives to roads are also better. There's underground transport everywhere. There's high-speed rail everywhere. So you can get across the country, you can get across town. You don't go across town on a high-speed rail, but you can go from next to the kind of by the convention center to the airport on high-speed rail. And it's super expensive. It's like $4, Mark. So, well, that's a lot for a train ride. Are you kidding me? Yeah. So they didn't get
and what when you say underground travel, what are you entailing? Is that subways? What are you
mole
saying?
People. Yeah, it's subways. It's but the subways are run by mole people, I think. I haven't checked on that, so don't quote me for sure. But the subways are everywhere. And if you make the subways effective enough, you get rid of a lot of cars. So I was here too long ago, like 20 years ago, and it was noisy. It was one of the noisiest places I'd ever been. And the noise is kind of gone. I went for a walk this morning at 5:45, and it was quiet. Now, all the big trucks are still burning diesel or some kind of fossil fuel. So the garbage trucks and the tanker trucks and the work trucks, a lot of those are still audible, but nothing else is. Even the cars are quiet. Even the hybrids are running mostly in electric. The lousy, cheap cab that I was in, and it wasn't lousy, it was just a beat up, cheap cab from some brand I'd never heard of, was electric. The guys, you come up to a stop sign, the stoplight, and 30 scooters pile up next to you waiting to go. And then the light turns green. You know what 30 scooters sounds like when they rev up to go? Nothing, because they're electric.
They're electric, yeah.
But you know what that sound is, right? You've heard a swarm of scooters before, I assume.
It's like a swarm of bees.
It's bad. They're little scooters are noisy. One little scooter is not, but a swarm of them gets unpleasant.
And those vehicles that are now predominantly electric, are you finding gasoline cars here and there, or is it are they completely almost outlawed in the city? Like what are you seeing?
I can't say in the city. I can tell you there are different rules. You do need certain permits to be in the city with your car. I don't know if it's for living in the city or just driving into the city, but if you want to get a vehicle registration in the city and it's not electric, if you can get it, it's going to be very expensive.
Okay.
So on the highway, getting from the airport to Shanghai, get to this part of Shanghai. The airport's in Shanghai. Shanghai is very big. Giga Shanghai is 90 kilometers from here, and it is in Shanghai.
Wow.
So it is a voluminous city. On the highway, I just looked for tailpipes, and I did see quite a few, under half. But then again, yesterday I saw, the rickety, cheap, short-range electric taxi, and behind it was a Bentley. So there's a little bit of everything here.
And what are you seeing for charging infrastructure as you're driving around, right? Are you seeing, is that plentiful? Are they hidden? Are they in plain sight?
I can't tell you yet. That's one I'll have to be on the lookout for. Most of the ride from the airport to the hotel, I was trying to get my eSIM working on my phone so that I could use Alipay to pay for the taxi ride that I am currently in. And fortunately, I was unsuccessful. So instead, he took me to a bank, and I changed my money there and paid him. So that was a nightmare, and I felt terrible about it. And the guy was very patient and very kind, but he's like, come on, I've got a meter. I'm not, just use the Alipay. I'd love to. May I have some data? But what are you going to do? So hopefully I get that part sorted out today, because it's stressful to leave the airport and no longer have data.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm
absolutely
very frustrated by that.
And with leaving the airport, what about the taxis themselves? All electric, a mix. What are you seeing at the airport? Because that airport is massive.
So taxis are regulated. So when China had its first energy crunch 25, 30 years ago, all the taxis converted to natural gas. They were required to. So I haven't seen a taxi yet that isn't electric. Do they exist? Okay. Maybe. I do not know the answer to that, but I can tell you I haven't seen one. But it would make sense to me for them to just wave the magic wand and say, no more gasoline taxis. And that's unfortunate for companies like Nissan. Nissan used to sell all the taxis in at least Shanghai, but I think Beijing too. It might have been a countrywide thing where they would take the previous generation of Sentra or whatever their economy model was and just ship the tooling over to China. They would domestically make Nissan taxi cabs.
Right.
And they were rickety. Oh, if you like rickety, these were such nice cars. Yeah, so it's weirdly quiet. It's very nice.
And at the hotel, like you're saying, you got up early, you're not hearing a lot of traffic noise outside the hotel. But are you near a freeway that you're seeing a lot of vehicles, or is the hotel in a residential area or a less traveled area?
I am tucked into an alley of an alley. So I look out my window and I do not see the ground. I see the sides of buildings. So,
okay.
But walking around, and I'm in, the touristy part of town. I'm at the edge. I'm just outside the edge of the touristy part. It feels very, I'm here with other broke visitors from around the world. So there's people from other countries who are like, I'm not staying at the Marriott. That's a little rich for my blood. I'm going to stay at the Fish Inn, which is the name of my hotel.
Okay. And how are you finding communication?
Difficult. It is. So there's translation apps on your phone. All you have to do is have data.
Which we know is a problem already.
So if they come into my hotel room, I can use the Wi-Fi to communicate with them. But once they're in my hotel room, I feel like it might already be too late.
That's like playing Russian roulette, Brian. You never know.
You never know. let's. Did you have more questions, or should we see if we can cover a couple of quick questions from last
Sure,
week's?
let's cover a
Let's
couple
do
of quick
that
questions.
because this is so much fun. With last week's big show that we shared was talking about the good folks at NADA who really want you to believe that there is a benefit to dealing with their nonsense. This.
The nada, that's right. The
Mm-hmm.
nada helping you.
How much do we help you?
Not all.
Nada. Excellent show. So entertaining. I couldn't believe they are called Nada. It's hilarious.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Apparently they couldn't make a good acronym out of Bendejo. So that's helpful. Car buying experience. That's like dismantling the tooth pulling experience from dentists.
Oh, good point. Good point, doctor.
Firm but fair. Dr. is always here with some good quips from now and then. Let's see. If the dealerships were competing fiercely, there would be 2 Ford dealerships within a mile of each other, and the pricing would be MSRP minus a certain percentage and no additional fees provided right away. And you can quickly drive to the other Ford dealer and ask for a better price. Mind you, what is this? A market in Marrakesh?
There's that, but that's a great point. If they were competing, there would be more of them close together, and the fierce fighting would entail. But that's not really true, and Nada knows it.
Of course they do. Dealerships just say Nada.
There you go.
Love it.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm. We get Lexus service loaners all the time, as it's great marketing for the new model tool for the dealer sales team. They always ask me if I'm ready to upgrade to my new model. I say no. Love the loaner car and the free latte. Buy my next 2 cars will be cybercabs.
There you go. I'm sure that makes those Lexus service people quite happy to hear.
Did you notice consumer safety on the BMW logo? I didn't.
Nope.
I didn't. What happened to Fisker Ocean? Can we get an update?
Yeah, they're no longer around.
Yeah,
They're gone. And if you bought a vehicle, you're probably not getting many service calls, updates.
Yeah. I think the parts will remain available for a time through Magna, who built the car in the first place.
But there was a story recently about Citibank. If you bought the vehicle through Citibank, the Fisker Ocean, there was an option to get a Rivian instead. They were offering a nice trade-in for a Rivian if you were trade-in, and that's with Citibank. I'm not sure if any other banks got involved with that.
If you have a Fisker Ocean, look into that. What is the out the door price? That's all that matters. I agree. And then M. Burr here wants to know how much I paid for the Nissan Quest. It was in 2018. It was a 2016 model. I paid $16,500 for it. It had been a rental. It had 45,000 miles on it, so it still had drivetrain warranty, but no bumper to bumper. It was a heck of a deal. And when things started getting a little squirrely, they were like, well, we've got other cars we can look at. And even the salesman's like, no, he's looking at the Quest for $16,500. And they're like, oh, yeah. No, we don't have anything like that. Let's see. What about Bob?
What about Dave?
Well, What About Bob was the movie I was referencing. Baby Steps, Dr. Leo Marvin. Kia of Tacoma. Brian, Kia of anywhere is terrible. Kia's terribleness in sales, service, and warranty fulfillment is why I happily drive a Tesla now. And there are plenty of people who in the comments were like, oh, car pros? Yeah, those guys are...
But look at the comment on that. It was, I will never buy another vehicle from a dealership again. So yeah. Obviously the convenience of buying it online or going into a actual gallery and purchasing it with knowledgeable people, that's sufficient. That's the win right there.
That's it. So guys, I think that covers it. I got other stuff to do here in China. I'm very busy.
Exactly.
Busy
So
man with busy
keep an
plans.
eye on Brian's feed because there's going to be more stuff being released all week long.
That's true. That's true. And head over to the Tesla Life, see what Mark, Patrick, and Casey are up to. They've always got some ridiculous insights. They scour the news with the power of three men. It is quite a skill that I don't have. So, guys, what did we miss? What did we misunderstand? Leave your comments. Who knows? Maybe we will answer them. Thank you for all of the wonderful comments about Nada, Nada. And I should look here. We had so many comments. It was a lot. Let me just check. 146 comments. That's pretty good. So, guys, stay tuned, stay juicy, and I cannot wait to hear from you, clever robots, on the flippity flop.